was a fun show. Like I said, you let me do it a couple times, but yeah, you were hilarious opening the show, doing like that. I mean, that's got to be really cool to kind of always have to feel like you have something new, even though you're getting obviously tourists and whatnot.
Yeah, it's cool to have new people, new crowds. Like when I do the LA Comedy Club or any of those sort of things, it's great when you've got those new. I mean, it's a fresh crowd every night. It's no one. Rarely is it anyone that's seen you twice or 3 times or whatever.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been doing stand-up?
Oh, wow. Well, I did it in college for a little while just to get like, hey, a free beer or free whatever,
Yeah.
And then I stopped for a while because I got really sick. But then, so I've been back at it a good, I don't know, 2 years now, something like that. So it's been great. It's like I picked up where I left off. It was like, no problem. Just hit the ground running and picked up gigs and started getting paid, so and that's awesome. So.
Are you from Vegas, or how long have you been here?
Yeah. Since I was 2, I've lived in Vegas. So it's just an interesting town to grow up in. But then again, I don't know what it's like growing up anywhere else. So yeah, I guess it's a good thing. We had Wet and Wild. That's what we had.
And now it's back.
But not bigger and better than ever.
No, not at all.
It's not the same at all.
Nope. And I actually haven't been to it this round. Yeah, but from what I hear, everyone says it's nothing near
like
what it used to be.
Yeah, no, it's nothing at all.
And it's crazy because they shut it down because they were like, oh, we're going to build these big timeshares here, or these big condos, because it was
and then
with the real estate bubble.
Crap.
And then it just shot themselves in the foot. They could have kept it there, and I mean, that park did great. People had everyone.
It was always busy.
Yeah, and all the high schools, all the high schools had their own like night that they would go there and party till late at night, and I mean, they had it rolling. I don't know what the hell they do now, but we'll see.
It's too far out of the way now. People don't want to go.
Yeah. I mean, having a strip, I guess, how much is that land worth, though? I guess it's hard to justify having a water park, even a very, very busy one. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but and that was a time when the town was a lot different too.
Yeah,
because Vegas was very family oriented back then. Like the MGM Grand had like a rainbow, and
and had that amusement park.
Yeah, they had an amusement park, and New York had the big thing, and Excalibur was pretty cool back then, believe it or not. So it was very family, and so you saw, tourists from all over the place that went to Wet and Wild. So that's what it was. It was a cool thing though. But yeah, growing up in Vegas was fun. Never had much of a problem. I mean, you definitely get a fake ID as fast as you can.
What?
I do not condone drinking under the age of 21. This is unacceptable.
That's unheard of. So, you got any gigs coming up?
Up and coming, not right now. I mean, because Anthony's show, the over at the LVH just ended Sunday. Mm-hmm. So, it's just lining stuff up again, things like that. The LA Comedy Club has me a lot over there, so it's fun. I also do the show Tony and Tina's Wedding at Bally's, so that keeps me busy.
Nice.
Anything like that. And then also we have
That's such a fun show.
Yeah, Tony and Tina's, it's fun. It's very interactive.
It's so fun.
Cool. Yeah. It's a blast of a show, and it's one of those things. It's like when people come into the show just to have fun and interact, it's a blast. They have a good time, so it's fun. Good times. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Nice. Well, yeah, then you're on Facebook and on Twitter or anything?
Yes. Facebook and Twitter, and I even have my own website.
Oh.
Yeah, it's jasonoutlaw.comedy.com.
Nice.
I got a book that I've been working on, that's going to be coming out hopefully by January, February. I'm getting married in March.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's crazy, I mean, people always say, "Oh,
does she know?"
She does not know yet, no.
But she is watching this. So
she is watching.
Really awkward.
Hey, will you marry me? Just yeah, no. She's an amazing girl. Like you couldn't have asked. Actually, she's the one that kind of got me back into comedy. After all those years when I was sick and I left, I would write stuff, and she would always go, why don't you perform again? I said, I don't know. And one day, I was like, well, maybe I should. And she was like, yeah, you should. And I was like, well, I don't know. And she goes, hey, here's the deal. If no one laughs, I will. So go ahead. So that's honestly how I got back into it. So
nice.
She's an amazing girl.
Does she realize she has to go to the clubs in order for that to happen?
Yes. She sends me a text that says ha 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 ha. Thank you, folks. We're here all week. Yeah, but quite an amazing girl. I mean, I really lucked out, so it's cool.
So what made you take the comedy plunge?
Wow. Well, I mean, growing up, first off, I had a speech impediment when I was a kid. I had a stuttering problem, so I hated being in front of people. So in high school, I played sports. So I was like, okay, well, something. I'm going to take a theater class because it was supposed to be an easy grade, so you didn't get held back from playing football. Not thinking, dumb me, that you had to get up in front of the class and say stuff. So my teacher, I got up and I did this dumb thing, this like a Snow White improv thing. And she goes, hey, you should audition for a show. And I said, no, I'm good. And she was like, no, you should really audition. I said, okay. So finally I agreed. And the day of the audition, she walked up to me and she said, hey, aren't you going to come audition? I said, no, my mom's waiting out front. I got to go. She goes, okay, well, come on in and I'll put you up first. She cast me in the show, and that's how it all started, the whole entertainment thing. And then, I started writing, and I realized that, because I loved Eddie Murphy back in the day, and, all those, Richard Pryor, there's George Carlin especially.
Right.
Amazing guys, and so I was like, man, I want to do that. So that's kind of how it all started.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was awesome. I think I got really lucky with bumping into great influences.
Yeah.
Is
Oh
what
yeah. I
happened.
mean, like you said, luck can be a big part of that. Like if you would have listened to a bunch of terrible comedians when you were a kid, you'd be a much worse comedian now. Luckily, you have all these great influences. You're hilarious.
I'd be a comedian on crack.
Yes.
I listen to terrible comedians.
There's so many of them. Sad.
Yeah. Especially in this town.
Oh man.
Let me give you my list.
Yeah.
You do have the crack list on the wall, which I appreciate. That every comedian,
that's how I disguise it.
Yes.
They don't. Then I'm not readily just pointing them out. It's just crack list. They think that I think they're on crack, not that they suck in comedy. They'd probably have a better career selling crack than selling comedy. So
That's good.
that's
Yeah.
just how I look at it.
Well, yeah, I think a crack career is pretty easily, the marketing isn't that difficult, and
Right.
you kind of gotta, your target market stuff.
A lot
right
of
there.
comeback customers. People
Lot of comeback.
repeat customers for sure.
Well, it depends on where you play. I'll probably do both, do
That's
comedy
true.
and some
I mean,
crack. But then
unfortunately,
they closed Meatheads.
Yeah, see, Meatheads is gone, unfortunately. But Hard Hat Lounge, I guess we could still do that. There's enough ones out there.
Yeah, it depends on where you're playing.
And that's how it starts.
That's really what we all got into comedy for.
Yeah,
Crack.
Yes, that's
The hookers and blow.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about. Game on. Kids listening at home.
For those of you thinking about getting into comedy, comedy kills people.
Yes. Comedy kills. I like that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And Outlaw is not a fake name, right? That is your real last name. I
Yeah.
know you probably get that.
Yeah, I get that all the time. I was just born that way. It was just Jason Outlaw. Originally, we're from like North Carolina, Virginia area, and my dad actually, did some, looking into the name. And the name is basically from Ireland. We're Irish, and we fought on the side of Braveheart, who was Scottish, which made us outlaws.
Nice.
Yeah, and come to find out, we're not really good fighters. Go figure.
We just tried to tell jokes in the middle of a big war and
Yeah,
got
it's-
slaughtered.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, freedom. I'm like, speaking of freedom, let me tell you something.
You ever guys notice how freedom isn't free? And that's
Did you ever notice how freedom isn't free? Okay, come on.
Yeah.
After they slaughter, and you're like, okay, let me tell you a joke about this.
yeah. I've got great guillotine material. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's amazing. It's amazing. But yeah, so it's interesting growing up with that name though, because everyone's always, every time you get pulled over by a cop, they want to mess with you about it. It's ridiculous, and I'm not a big fighter, It's
Yeah.
like, and people are like, oh, Outlaw, what do you think you're tough? I'm like, no, it's just my last name, dude. That's it.
Yeah, calm down.
That's it. Yeah, I'm a funny haha guy.
Officer Smalls.
Yes. And when you meet people that have like last names like there's one guy my brother used to work with. His last name's Sheriff. There's another guy I know who's a buddy of mine. His last name is Justice. There's a lot of different and they're always like, hey, we should do something.
Yes, we should form some sort of things just based on our last names. Not any skills we have, just based on that we have conflicting last names.
Yeah, my brother's friend all the time was always like, hey, let's do this. What?
We have a built-in name.
Yeah.
So figure out what it's going to be later.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's just, this is going to work. It's gonna, whatever this is.
We promise you'll like it.
Yeah. I mean, me and my fiance, we always joke about, because, I was like, oh, hey, you're marrying me for the last name. because she's a cool ass chick, man. She can, she's a knife fighter and a knife thrower and all that stuff. So I'm like, yeah, she can kick ass, dude.
Nice.
But yeah. So I was like, oh, you just want the last name, just so it goes with your awesomeness.
Yeah, well, that could be expensive later on if that's true.
Yeah, never piss her off. I'm gonna say she's a knife thrower.
Yeah. You can learn to bob and weave and duck and zigzag as you run. That's what you. I think that's what you do, right?
Oh yeah,
zigzag. Yeah, as you run. That's just what it is.
I've had to outrun knife throwers a lot. Yeah, so that's usually what I do.
Is that that's the protocol? Zigzag.
Being chased by an alligator and a knife thrower, same thing. You zigzag.
Yeah, you zigzag.
Is that what you do when you're getting chased by an alligator?
I think so.
That's what they say you're supposed to do.
Zigzag.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause they run fast straight. I guess.
They run fast straight, but they can't zigzag.
They can't zigzag. They can't turn.
I figure.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm ever in Florida,
I don't know who ever tested that theory out.
Lord only knows. Yeah, I zigzagged and I survived. My cousin, he ran straight. He got eaten.
We're all basically just on this.
We
one
kept
guy.
saying zigzag, and he just wouldn't listen.
Yeah, he wouldn't listen, and then he got eaten.
Pretend it's a knife thrower, and then
Yeah.
he just wouldn't.
Have you seen that YouTube video of the old guy? He's on the golf course, and there's a alligator, like near one of the water holes, and he's over there trying to move it, and he like throws his jacket on it, and then he looks stunned as the alligator tries to bite him. It's like,
Did he not see Happy Gilmore?
yeah,
Like,
it's
Yeah,
like,
I know.
it's like, of course he's trying to bite you. Like that's what he does.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those things you go, something, I'm good. Even if he,
I'll take the penalty stroke.
if the
That's
ball
fine.
landed on him, you're like, I'm
But the thing was, it wasn't even bothering. He walked over to it. Like the alligator's just hanging out.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna go over there and pick on me? Yeah. Now I am gonna bite you.
Yeah, that's something you
Like-
don't mess with. It's like you see people that hunt online, and they always have these videos where this like some guy's getting like beat down by by some sort of animal, and they're like, oh, poor guy. You're like, he was hunting him. Man. Like,
He was trying to kill him.
it's like
That's-
sometimes the deer wins. It's just the way it is. Like, and have you ever seen a deer beat the hell out of somebody?
No, but that sounds
the weirdest,
fantastic.
It's the weirdest thing ever, man. It's like their hooves are just like
Because they won't stop. Like they're,
they just
they're
keep going until the person just stops moving. But the guy that I was watching, and it was a YouTube video, it was on Facebook. I just saw it the other day. This guy just kept getting up. It's like, what? Just lay down. Have you ever heard play dead? Maybe he should have zigzagged. I don't know. If he would have zigzagged, he'd have been okay.
Yeah.
Any danger I get into for like next year, I'm just gonna zigzag. It's whatever it is.
Exactly.
Hopefully it works.
Zig and zag. Zig and zag. You're like,
I had the same thing in Tecmo Bowl. I used to zig and zag. If you were on a thing, I don't know if you guys
Tecmo
played
Bowl
that.
was awesome this
It
man.
was.
That was zig and zag, man. I still do that on the Madden games.
Exactly. It works in everything of life.
Yeah.
If you take nothing away from this show, just zigzag. And that's really.
That's all we have learned today.
And if you don't believe us, Google zigzag and crocodile.
Yeah.
See what
I
happens.
might be doing that.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I think in general, you're just supposed to zigzag from anything. I would think.
Right.
And it makes it difficult. It never knows when you're gonna move.
Yeah.
It knows when you're gonna cut.
Discovery.com. Run in a zigzag if chased by a crocodile. I don't know if that alligator or crocodile. I'm assuming it would do both, but I could be.
They
be wrong.
sort of seem almost the same animal.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is a MythBusters thing. It says busted.
Ooh.
Oh,
Shit.
It's like
My whole world is destroyed.
it's a good thing there's not an alligator around.
Is it a myth that was put out by the alligators? It's like zigzag. We can get you eaten.
It actually has a chance to get
It's
catch
easier
you.
to catch you.
Yeah.
It actually says they max out around 10 miles per hour, which isn't that fast. So you should just be able to outrun one. In general.
10 miles an hour. I'm the most out of shape skinny man in the world, dude. I will pass out.
Nice.
I get up to about 4 miles an hour and I'm done.
4 miles per hour.
4 miles per hour.
That's awesome.
That's the Jason Outlaw standard. It doesn't get much faster. I run across the street and I'm like, whoo, hands on my hips.
Well, let's take a break because Devin Sheffield's going to be making his way into the studio. So we'll take a break, everyone, and we'll be back.